Hello, good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, good evening, sir. You're welcome.
Yeah, I welcome everybody on board. This is a platform to educate and also put you on the right path to organic tomato production, the 100 day challenge. So it has so many benefits, and you can also read that on your dashboard. Okay, so before we go into the today's topic, let's do a little recap of what we did yesterday. Yesterday, we talked about the overview of tomato profitability, how you can start tomato farming with irrigation, the production cost spending between 320,000 to 1 million on 1 hectare, and then expecting yield close to 10 million or thereabouts after removing cost of production. Also, we discuss about the market volatility and how you can take advantage of the market volatility. And then we talk about boosting your profit opportunity with off-season cultivation for um, uh, festival period and also timing. Then we talk about the benefits of using sack bags in farming, where it reduces the attendant cost of hiring too much laborers on the farm, and then you can cultivate within a little space and get a lot done. You don't weed. You take it gives you some full control over the plants, and you can expect them, especially in your backyard or wherever you plant them. And it's also a movable farm. And then we talk about the climate zones, the climate region, how you can time the planting of tomatoes to avoid the period of heavy rainfall. Once you're having rainfall back to back, you're highly susceptible to getting fungi to build up. We talk about the time zone for the middle belt, the south, and also the market timing and the price range, how you can market time the your production, and then the festive period spike, Ramadan, Salah, Christmas, how you can time your planting to your harvest to coincide with those periods. And then we talk about dry season planting, usually the benefits sack farming. And then we talk about modules two. We talk about potting soil, um, using potting soil to control potential diseases that will occur on the farm, like the nematodes, blossom end rot. And we went further to talk about using loamy soil, avoid clay um, soil when you are mixing your soil. And then we talk about use of compost, rice husk as part of the mix. And then we talk about neem cake, wood ash, and bone meal, and also charcoal dust or voucher. We told you about how to mix them, but after them, we talk about soil sterilization using hot water, and then how you can use soil sterilization using the sun. You boil clean water until it is very hot, and then you pour it on top of the soil. And then you use that to treat the soil. And then the solar sterilization, whereby you put the soil, you add some little water to it, the soil you want to treat, usually for a very large farm, and then you cover that with some plastic bag. And this plastic bag traps the sun heat, and then sterilize the soil over 7 to 14 days, and then return the soil every 2 or 3 days. Then we talk about organic soil booster like the compost, the bone meal, and the neem cake, wood ash, charcoal dust. So, and then we ended it there yesterday. So that was a quick rundown of what we did yesterday. So, going further today, then modules 3, and we talk about the best tomato varieties. So there are several varieties of tomatoes that you can consider to grow, but not all of them will perform the same way. And so you must choose carefully the type of tomatoes you want to grow. So let's talk about the seeds first. So there are different types of seeds of tomatoes. The number one type is the open pollinated seeds. These are seeds that produce naturally, and then they can be saved and replanted. So seeds that can be saved and replanted are usually open pollinated seeds. And these seeds is what most organic farmers are protecting from being polluted against GMO seeds. We have what we call GMO seeds, which are genetically modified organism seeds. These seeds are laboratorily produced in such a way that um, their production do not exist in nature. And so if GMO are allowed to go on open field with the same open pollinated seeds, they risk polluting the original seeds that we have. And so this will make us lose the originality of the seeds themselves of our local seeds. And so that is why most organic farms are against the GMO seeds. And this take away what we call seed sovereignty away from the farmer. What it means is that you cannot be able to produce your seeds again yourself to get the kind of seed that you desire. And so if that is being polluted, your sovereignty to be able to produce your own seed and use it as you like will be taken away totally um, through the technology of GMO and whatever that they bring onto play. So for tomatoes, we have, that's just a little digression. We have uh, the UC82B variety. It's a popular variety, and is heat tolerant, and the fruits are firm, and then they are widely grown in Nigeria. Um, Tomatoes fruits and their size and their shelf life, and then ability to withstand long transportation are usually one of the major um, things to consider for the farmer. If peradventure you are trying to grow seeds for a longer, for different um, uh, markets. So we also have the NSPRI Tom tomatoes, which was developed by the Nigeria Product Research Institute. It's also good for storage and very excellent for transportation to avoid damage. We have the Dan Ebeji, which is a hardy northern Nigeria variety, and is also highly adaptable. We have the Roman BF. It's sometimes classified as OP, open pollinated. It's a semi-determinant plant. We have both determinant and then indeterminate plants. So when we get there, we explain what this means. You can save the seeds from your harvest, like I said, and then you can plant them the next season. So this is how breeding evolved. The best of the seeds are usually being saved. The best of the tomatoes produced are usually being saved, and then you replicate that same seeds the next season. And so you continue to improve on the breed and also the variety itself. And this has been done for generations to generations. And this is what our forefathers have been doing for a very long time. So we have the helium seeds too. Now, these are traditional seeds that are passed down for many years, more than 50 years. They are also open pollinated, but are often valuable for their taste, the tradition around the tomatoes, and then their resilience against local diseases, pest resistance, and what have you. So some of these tomatoes are like the Ogbomosho tomatoes or the Yoruba Helium tomatoes. Those ones that have lines around there, they come in form of balls, and they have several lines around them. And those are Helium tomatoes that is native to the Yorubas. It is known as the Ogbomosho tomatoes. It is rich in taste and they're very juicy. And so some varieties of tomatoes are preferable over there because of their thinness and all the rest. But for taste and then the juiciness, it is incomparable to any of those varieties that even you have now, like the F1 and the rest. Then we have the Jos local tomatoes, which is grown in Plateau States. It also has its own flavor, and then it's very, very good for the cooler temperate temperate region, the cooler temperate region of Jos. We have the Nsuka yellow tomatoes. It has this unique yellow variety with a kind of mild and sweet aroma, and it is usually grown in the southeast. And they are specially designed for some special cuisines with their taste, and so these varieties are there. Those are alliums, but they are not widely sold by companies, but they are usually cherished for their taste in some certain cuisines, especially the Nsuka yellow tomatoes. They also have the yellow pepper, Nsuka yellow pepper. And so they are cherished for their taste in some certain cuisines in those regions. Then we have the hybrid F1 seed. These are made from crossing two parent plants to get better yields and then um, cross against resistance to certain diseases. And also they grow faster and they can yield even more than the Elliams and the open pollinated seed. But the drawback here is that you can't save the seeds from them and then grow them to get excellent results. So you can't save the F1 seed. So when you have tomatoes seeds with the F1, F1 means the first generation. They can only be grown for that first generation alone. You cannot regrow it. You cannot regrow the seed or save the seeds. You need to go back to the seed company to buy more of the seeds. So that is the drawback. So we have the Tropimex F1. We have the Pandama F1. We have the Platinum F1 and the Delica F1. Then we have the genetically modified organisms that I did mention, which is never allowed in organic farming. And then we have different controversies over it. So in Nigeria, recently Nigeria has been one of those countries supporting the GMO because of lack of certain understanding. So we have some GMO seeds in form of cowpea, beans is already in the country, and then we have the maize. We have the maize seeds, which is already being grown in the country. And also cotton. Cotton are being grown genetically in Nigeria as we speak. So most of us shows a lot of concerns about this development because of the effect on other crops that are open field, open pollinated crops. And so that is a major problem we have with GMO. And so we are doing a lot of advocacy against that. And so through this program, we are pushing in for more seeds that can be helpful for farmers, not GMO. Now, we have the organic seeds. These are grown without chemicals. The seeds you grow without chemicals, either it is helium, open pollinated seeds, be it hybrid, whatever it is. And these seeds are still very rare, but um, interest in them are still continue to grow. So we have uh, the pros, like I said, for the open pollinated, can be collected, seed saves and reused, and you can even sell. It has lots and lots of flavor and diversity, and it is locally adaptable. That is the beauty of the open pollinated varieties. They are they are they adapt to the local conditions of the immediate environment, and so they can adjust to pest and climate condition effectively. But the problem with it is that it doesn't yield as much as the the hybrids or the F1, and you may discover varied inconsistency in their size and then the ripening. The ripening may change. You may have different time of ripening of the tomatoes, and so uh, these are just a drawback. And then they may be disease vulnerable. Some of them may be susceptible to some certain type of diseases that is incurable. So these are the only drawbacks for the open pollinated seeds. For the hybrids, the pros is that it's high yielding, and then um, it produce more fruits, and then they grow vigorously, they grow stronger, and then they appear to mature faster than the hybrid. And some of them are produced in such a way that they can resist some certain diseases, like the blight and the weeds, bacterial weeds. And so this can reduce crop loss, and then we can have a whole lot to harvest from. Then they don't have problem with uniformity. So usually most of the fruit size are consistent in 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 terms of size, color, and then in ripening. So most farmers, especially those that grows in a very large volume, they want to look at the hybrid, the F1 seeds. It's also allowed in organic farming because it's just breeding processes. The F1 seeds, because they can ripen almost at the same time, so you can always plan your harvest very well and know that, okay, I'm getting 20 kg, 100 kg every or three days harvest. And so you can time and plan very well with their performance. So, and then they tend to have a longer shelf life for better transportation, and also they have firmer fruits. The fruits are always very firm and hard, and so but the drawback there is that you can't save the seeds, and then the cost of the seeds are very, very usually high, more expensive, and then the flavor. So the flavor cannot be compared to those of the open pollinated varieties. So it lack those rich tastes that you get from the open. So it depends on what you desire, what you want. So which one should you choose? Which one is needed for you? So for small scale, my colleague will also talk about the Nayot varieties. The Nayot varieties are usually very, very good. The Otitum 4 and Otitum 5. They are excellent to grow. So they breed the variety. So it has more information about them the as we progress on the training. So we give you the lowdown. So which one should we choose? So for the small scale, um, sustainable, budget friendly farming or gardening processes, I would prefer you go for the open pollinated or the helium seeds so that you can save your seeds and also and enjoy the diverse flavors that you get from it. And these also support local adaptation, and then it keeps the seeds sovereignty system going on. So, but for a larger farms where you are growing in the open fields, and you need high yields, you need to plan with harvest, and you need so many logistics to be deployed. Let's say you have 2 or 3 hectares of tomato farms, so you need hands to come in, and so you don't want to waste people's time. So you need the right thing to be up and doing with timing, and so I would recommend you go for the hybrid seeds. And so these hybrid seeds give uniform crops for you, and then you can benefit a lot from it. So for the hybrid farmers, those farmers with uh, large acreage of farmland, you go for the hybrid, the F1 seeds. Then you can marry both. Okay, you can do both approach. You plant hybrid for consistent market supply, and then alliums for personal taste, and then seed saving, and then genetic diversity. But you need to separate them to avoid cross pollination to pollute the varieties. So your choice depends on your goals and the context, but hybrid excel for high production and market focused farming, while open pollinated shines where sustainability, flavor, and self reliance matter most. So let's look at the recommended varieties. So for the northern parts, e.g., Kano, Kaduna, Katsina, Jigawa, Plateau, and all those northern parts, um, dry season, it has low humidity, and then they need good irrigation. And so the tomatoes you can use the Autotom 5, the one for um, from Niot. Autotom 5 breed is high yielding and also resists total absoluta, which otherwise known as the tomato leaf miner, and is excellent for dry season farming in the north. And also, they have the Derica F1. The Derica F1 is suitable also for the northern climate, and then and then the Dan Ebeji. So the Dan Ebeji is also very good for the northern parts. So the middle belt, um, Autotom 4, that is Kogi, Benue, Niger, Nasarawa, and all the rest. And then we have the Jos local tomatoes. It has great flavor and is suitable in the plateau cold highland climate. Padma F1 is also good, and then Roma VS. For the southwest, Oyo, Ogun, Osun, Lagos, Ekiti, and all the rest. The Autotom 4 is excellent, and it's one of the tomatoes we'll be using for the challenge. We'll be using the Autotom 4 tomato varieties for the challenge. And because we have a breeder in the house, so it becomes even a lot easier for us. It's an excellent tolerance to humid weather because of the problem with high rainfall, humidity, and often we have disease conditions because of high humidity. And so we need very resistant varieties, especially in the south, Oyo, Ogun, Lagos, Ekiti, and all those areas. So the Ogbomoso tomatoes adapt very well, which is the Helium varieties that have been mentioned earlier on. And the UC 82B still performs very well in wet condition. And so the Otitum 4 is what varieties that we are recommending for the growth. And then in the southeast, Enugu, Anambra, Imo, and Abia. So we have because of high humidity still and then heavy rainfall in that region as well, and highly susceptible to fungi diseases. So we are not going to plant tomatoes varieties that are highly susceptible to fungi and bacteria within this region. So the Otitum still comes very handy. The Usuka yellow tomatoes is also one of them. Then the Padma F1 also works very well. For the South, Otitum 4 is excellent. The Roma VF and then the Platinum F1 also very good in disease resistance. So the best way to raise these tomatoes is to plan well. And so we've talked about the soil and those things you put in place. It's a must to put those things in place to get excellent results. And so you need to plan well, and then you get excellent results. So that is that for modules 3. I'll now ask for questioning time so we can proceed to module 4. So if you have any questions,
Good evening, sir.
good evening, sir.
About the one for the south, after the guy, but we only spoke about the south. Any other one?
Please come again. I can't hear you.
You spoke about seeds for the south, like Ibadan, Abeokuta, Lagos, and the only one I
Yeah.
got was Otitom. Are they good for dry season and the rainy season? Which one is good for dry season? Which one is good for rainy season?
Yes, they are good for both seasons. They are
Okay.
excellent for
Apart
the
from
both seasons.
the other one,
Okay, for the southwest, right?
I can't hear you.
So for the can you hear me now?
It's breaking.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Am I audible now?
Hello. It's breaking. It's coming and
Start
going.
tonight.
Oh, it's not sure. Hello,
Yes.
am I audible?
Yes. It's the law.
The line is still breaking.
I'm audible, right?
Yes, please, you are. Go on.
Okay. So for out apart from the Otiton 4, um, the Platinum F1, the Ogbomoso tomato, and the UC 82B tomatoes varieties. Am I clear now?
Yes, please go on. I think Mr. Wolabi needs to mute the background noise that's coming from his end.
Oh, I thought it
Okay.
was from my end.
Okay, please go on now.
Okay. So any questions before we go into the modules 4?
Good evening, Mr. Saka.
Good evening, ma. Good
I'm
evening,
so
ma.
sorry to take you back. I missed yesterday's um lectures. I don't understand what you meant by soil sterilization and the use of neem cake. Those are the only ones I just could not grasp. while you were
Okay.
recapping. Thank you.
Okay. Soil sterilization is to sterilize the soil, to remove pathogens from the soil, especially the topsoil. So before you add organic matters to the soil, you can sterilize the soil. And one of the method is by adding hot water to the soil that you intend to use. So what you do is you get containers and then you add the soil in it, then boiling water you pour on the soil and then you cover. What happens is that it kills the weed seeds and also um, it reduces pathogens, bacteria, and also pathogens. It reduces pathogens and also clears out fungi and all those bacteria that could
Okay.
potentially harm the tomatoes. And so after the initial treatment with the hot water, you remove the hot water and then you drain the soil and you're allowed to dry out a bit. Then you can now start adding organic materials like your compost, your neem cake. Neem cake is an uh, extract from the residue from the production of neem oil, and it's also very high in nitrogen, and also it has it has ability to control nematodes, and nematodes are major problem in tomato cultivation, especially the root knot nematodes. And so when you have that in the soil already, it inhibits their growth. And this way, you're able to grow your tomatoes efficiently. And then you
Okay.
also add bone meal and some other materials. So I think, is that very clear now, ma'am?
Yes, yes. But although I don't know what bone meals means, but it's clear the way you have explained.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, you can listen to the audio again. I think it's posted on the group. I think I
Um,
described it a bit there.
okay. Thank you very
Okay.
much.
Hello,
Yeah, it's a
Mr.
pleasure.
Saka.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Please, there are some of us that joined today. Is there a way we can have what to read? I've been following your explanation and they are good, but like on our own, when the class is over, we want to read some things over, we want to practicalize it on our own before the next class. Is there a way we can have something like handout posted on this or our email or whatever? That's my request.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. So there will be an handout for that. Okay. So we have 11. How many minutes more? So let's run the fourth modules. This fourth modules organic pest control. So how do you control organic um, pests on the farm? Um, Over the years, we've been battling with different solutions to help farmers get head on start against pests. And one of the solution is what I'll be describing here, which is um, the smoke pesticides. Okay, um, these are used in natural farming to repel pests and reduce disease pressure without the use of synthetic chemicals, and they are highly efficient. So smoke pesticides are natural pest repellents. They are made from burning plants materials like the neem, garlic, and lemongrass. In organic farming, these three materials, the neem, garlic, and lemongrass, they help repel insects They suppress fungi spores and also reduce diseases without harming beneficiary insects or even harming the soil life. Because in the soil is a living entity. And so we want the soil life to benefit the plant continuously. And so we don't want to introduce chemicals to damage the soil life. And this method is highly cost effective, and then you can source them locally, and they are eco-friendly, making them ideal for the smallholder farmers and then sustainable farms in tropical climate like ours. So the first formulation is a garlic neem pepper mix. So what you do is to get dried neem leaves. Neem leaves are dongoyaro, and they contain an active ingredient that contains pesticidal properties. They actually um, very powerful pesticide properties in dongoyaro leaves or the neem leaves. So the dried neem leaves, also known as Adrata indica, you gather 2 or 3 handful of it, dried leaf, and then a garlic clove, alum sativum, one big bulb. You crush it, then you find dried chili pepper or even Cameroon pepper we serve. Dry one, 3 tablespoons is excellent. And then you get corn husk, the normal corn husk, or you get dry coconut shell, the dry coconut shell. If you don't
If you
have
don't
that, you
have
can
that, you
use
can use
cocoa
cocoa
pits.
peat.
So cocoa
So cocoa
pits
peats
and
and
also
also
corn husk.
corn husk.
So this is how
So
you
this is how
prepare
you
it.
prepare it.
Mr.
I
Kayode,
Mr.
am
please
Kayode,
please mute your
mute your
mic.
mic.
Okay,
Okay.
Okay.
I'll do that now. Sorry.
So
So
From
I
Mr.
think
Kayode Onigbogi. The echo is from Mr. Kayode Onigbogi. Please mute your mic.
I've done that.
I think
Thank you.
it
Sorry.
has been muted. Okay, let me take that again. So you have the garlic neem pepper mix, the dry neem leaf, the Azadirachta indica. You get 2 handful of it or 3 handful of it. Garlic, one big bulb, the allium sativum, garlic or hayu in Yoruba. You crush it, then dried chili pepper or the Cameroon pepper or ata josi in Yoruba, hot pepper per se, 3 tablespoons, and then corn husk. Um, they serve as a base for the smoke, and then you can get dry coconut shell or the cocoa pits. You mix the cocoa pits, just a handful of it, and then this is how you prepare it. You crush the garlic, the neem leaf you crush into powder. The pepper is also into powder thoroughly, and you mix everything together with the crushed garlic, dried neem leaf, and the pepper. You mix thoroughly. Then you place the mixture on a metal tray or a smoking pot. You know those pots they use for incense. You can get that from the incense store. The spiritual homes, you can get those incense pots. If you don't have, you can make one with a tin. You put holes around it, like the Milo tin or any of those tin that is big enough to contain. So you add the corn husk. You pound the ground husk into a smooth uh, materials, and then you add the corn husk, and then you mix also with the the cocoa pit or the coconut shell. You shred it properly and then you mix. And then you put in the container or the smoking pot and then you ignite them. And so you put hose around it so that as it burns, the smoke comes out. So you can put this strategic location around the farm. And then you go home overnight, usually at night when the pests will come. So the smell of this burning garlic and all the rest in the system, they drive the pest away. And then you light the mixture, like I said, and then it produces very thick smoke. In some other mixtures, we use cow dung, dry cow dung. Dry, dry cow dung burns very well, and also it comes with this thick smoke, and that can carry the hot pepper, the garlic, and then the name, and then the smell. So it drives them. They don't make your farm their home. And so you place the smoke pot. You have to know where the wind blows, especially at night, so that it blows into the farm. It doesn't where you place it, it blows into the farm, and it doesn't blow out of the farm. I hope you understand what I mean by blowing into the farm. So if the wind is blowing in the north direction, you don't want to place it in that north direction. Your farm is in the south, so and the wind is blowing towards the north, and then you place it at the edge of the north. The smoke will not go into your farm. But if it's blowing towards the north, at the bottom of the south, that is where you place the the can, so that when it blows, it can blow into your farm. So you only have to watch out for the directions of the winds. But if you are not so sure, that means you need to produce many of it. And so intermittently, you can do that once a week or once in 2 weeks. This will reduce the pest load on the farm. And also for your sack farming, once in a while, you can just put it around so that the pests will find it difficult to live within those regions and then make it their home. This is highly efficient for the dry season farming when you're going to have white flies. So the major problem during the dry season is that we have lesser pests during the dry season farming, but you have the aphid family of the white flies coming in their droves. So this is highly effective against them, especially in the morning and at night, where it makes the place very uncomfortable for them to be able to live. And so you allow this smoke to drift for at least 30 to 45 minutes. And then if you are the type who do not want problem to occur at all, you do it intermittently. So you do it today, you allow it the next day, and then you do it every other day. This way, we eradicate pest loads on the farm effectively. In fact, you will not have reason to spray anything. That alone will make the place very uncomfortable for the pest that wants to come and do damage. And then, so with the smoke pesticides, you'll be able to um, the name act as insect repellent, and also the garlic, pepper. It irritates even the soft body pests like aphids, caterpillars, white flies. And so you can use it, like I said, you can use it weekly during pest outbreak. And then for prevention purposes, you can do it before they leave the farm in the evening. They just do it, and then you are covered to reduce the pest load. They won't make that place their home. No pest will ever make that place their home. And so that way you have pure control over pests. Then we have the second formulation. I'll be giving you two formulations. The second one, this one is highly specialized in the sense that the first one, we have irritants like the garlic and the pepper that irritates the larvas and also even the adult flies of this pest. But this one serves as even more potent aromatic uh, pesticides. So most pests identify their host by the smell usually. So they don't have too much developed eyesight. So they can be hundreds and hundreds yards away from your farm and they know that they have some food on your farm to feed on. And then they just arrive like that. So what you want to do is to play on the sensitivity of the smell as well. So there are some um, aromatic pesticides like the eucalyptus leaf, like the lemongrass, dried orange peel. So this is the time you keep your orange peels. You don't waste them. They are pesticides. And then you can use rice husk as a base material, rice husk, sawdust, and then you can also use fibers like if those are very difficult to find, you can use banana stem, dried banana stem fibers or plantain leaves, banana leaves, dried one you can use. So these are aromatic pesticides. So their smell alone drives the pest mad. So they don't want to come near. So when you burn this, it's just like burning um, essence. And when you burn this, a pest can perceive the smell from afar and then off they go. They will never visit the farm. And so you get the dry eucalyptus leaves, like about three handful. Eucalyptus leaf, two or three handful to serve the purpose. And then lemongrass leaf, two or three handful is also good. The lemongrass can be planted on the farm. In fact, most farmers should have this on the farm or in your garden. Lemongrass name should be around because they are highly effective pesticides and then you can leverage on it easily. And then the dry tomato and the dry orange peels. You can also use tangerine peels as well. A handful of it is enough. You dry it and then you grind it into powder. You add the base materials. These base materials is to allow these things to burn. And so you can use a rice husk filter. You can use cow dung. I know cow dung will be difficult as well. I'm not mentioning cow dung, but usually cow dung is what they use, especially in the region like in India and all the rest. So they use lots of cow dungs. So the cow dungs, they grind along with everything. And then, like I said, the pot you use in doing the incense, you, you introduce it into it and then you burn around the garden, the place where you have planted your plants, and then it drives away those pests. Like I said, you can dry those plants, those leaves, these plant materials, you can dry them in the sun. You crush them for even, you make sure you crush them very well and then you mix everything together. The rice also for the sawdust and everything so that it will regulate the burn, gives it a proper burn and then consistent. So the mixture needs to be mixed very well. So you light the mix and then in a smoke pot, or a pan or anywhere there's airflow, a thing where you put hose around them and then you hang it around the farm. Like I said, the wind, directions of the wind is also very important so that you can cover a larger part of the farm. So that is only the drawback for the smoke if you are having regular wind direction. So so you use around the field perimeter or in the greenhouse. This is very suitable for greenhouse settings. And then we do the smoking for 3 days and then 30 minutes or an hour. 30 minutes or an hour, and then you are good to go. Early in the morning or in the evening at dusk. So, like I said, eucalyptus and lemongrass repel insects and fungi, and then the citrus peel uh, smoke contains what we know as a lemonine. This lemonine is a strong insect repellent. So, citrus peel, the citrus family, is rich in lemonine, and this lemonine is, like I said, is a very strong insect repellent. So it's very ideal for control of white flies, beetles, even mosquitoes, and even fungi spores. So when humidity are building up, like you have back-to-back rainfall, you have back-to-back rainfall, humidity will be very high, and then you can do this in sense so that uh, the fungi spores that tends to grow with this humidity can be suppressed. And so especially when you have plants in clusters, you put them too much in clusters, you can use the smoke pesticides to help reduce the fungi buildup within the clusters. And then uh, where humidity, you sense humidity can quickly build up, you can put it around those areas. And so these both methods are very safe, they are sustainable, and they are very, very, very effective when you use them regularly. This is the first time I'm describing this method, and it's always, you always ensure that you have good airflow, and then avoid over smoking young seedlings. So young seedlings do not smoke now. You allow them to, when you transplant, allow like a month after transplant before you start smoking, so that the young seedlings will have established itself properly, and then uh, they can withstand smokes and all those things. So it's 9 o'clock already. Okay, let's okay, we call it a day, but let's have questions and tomorrow we'll finish up everything. We have two more modules tomorrow. Um, uh, actually, I will talk about herbal smoke that you use to repel white flies, designed specially for white flies and moths, which I will give. And also, instead of recap tomorrow, I will give you this and then fermented fruit juice where you can trap adult flies. Um, you trap adult flies that lay those eggs for the larva. So the male and female, you trap them, reduce the pest load on the farm. So with this systematic approach, you'll be able to reduce your pest load on the farm. So I'll give you two of that, and then we go into the module 5 and module 6, and then we call it. They will talk in module 5. We talk about the fertilizer, the growth stage, whereby the fertilizers you need to produce for the nursery stage, vegetative stage, the flowering stage, and the fruiting stage. And then module 6, we talk about the monitoring, harvest, what to look out for, your post-harvest tips, how to harvest. It was very crucial. Having done all this, if you are not harvesting properly, then you have a big problem. Then how to detect diseases, the early signs, and then how and when harvest for the best shelf life, depending on the condition you want to harvest for. If you want to harvest for transport base, you want to harvest for outright sales and all those things. Those things you need to watch out for. And then how to handle storage and handling solutions and all those things. We'll talk tomorrow. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Let's have questions and then we'll call it a day.
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
Hello. Can you give us a liquid insecticide?
Liquid.
Insecticide.
Yeah, we'll talk about the liquid pesticide. We'll talk about the liquid pesticide today. The herbal solution. We'll talk about it tomorrow. Any more questions? Do we have questions?
Hello, can anybody hear me?
Yeah, hello. Yeah, I can hear you.
Adi Saka. Yeah, what a nice lecture. Speaking of, so now my question
I
is that
can.
the
Okay.
you know, the insecticide organically are they contained in the cover it will guide us because at times maybe will help, but when we have the soft copy anything, you can easily extract the first question. The second question, sir. I don't know maybe you've mentioned it about the pesticide organically. Maybe can we use also what's it called orange peel? Remember then that at home they will just say, "Oh, yeah, come with you burn this orange." Does it also work out on the farm too? So that's my question, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't hear you honestly. Maybe you can come again, please. You tend to break. I don't know if it's my own network or yours. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Please, can you come again? I can't hear what you say. Actually, I couldn't pick up the question.
Okay. Maybe I'll put it in typing. Maybe you can.
Okay. So I'll watch out for it. So while we wait for Mr. Shakiru's question, if you have any question, please you can ask now before.
So sorry, sir. Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for the explanation. My questions are number one and two. One, somebody like me. At times I get distracted, but I always find time to listen to the voice recording. So if I have questions that I would not like to disturb the group while the explanation is going on, can we also discuss on the Telegram channel? Is it possible that we get answers to our
Yes,
questions?
yes. That's why we have Telegram.
Okay. Then like somebody said earlier, if it's good, we can get the material. Because some of the names are new to somebody like me. So if it can also be maybe like a text or notes, that would be fine as well.
Yeah, there will be a note. A group.
The sorry, just to answer that, the materials we have basically are the master classes. That's why
We can't hear you again. No.
Sorry, I lost you. You were saying something.
sorry. I didn't know whether you heard the things I said earlier. That the material we have are the master classes. For where you have questions, it will be answered in the group so that everyone can also learn. And then I was saying that, okay, I think that answers the question. There was something else in my mind. I think I lost track of that. But does that answer the question? I was saying that this is going to be a very practical 100 days. It's going to be hands on. By the time we get past the first, second, or third week, we should all have our starter packs, with us. And then by then, it's going to get really, really practical. So no fear about whether you'll be able to, you will be hands-on, or you would not find yourself having a good picture or explanation of what you need to do at any point in time. By the time, especially by the time we start the practicals, but the masterclass recordings will be available, and you can listen to them and ask questions on it.
Thank you very
I
much.
hope that
Okay.
suffices. Okay.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, so the questions from Shakiru, Mr. Shakiru Sakai have said, my question, please, can we have access to this organic insecticide you mentioned in written form? And secondly, can we also use orange pills as well? Yes, I did mention about orange pills. The, the citrus family, they have strong pesticidal um, properties that you can leverage on. So you can definitely use it along with the eucalyptus leaves and the lemongrass leaves. So you can, because you can, it's part of the, and you're going to get, as you progress with the training, you're going to have hands-on and vivid picture of everything that you need to do. So it's within reach for you. And so the group is there for you so we can guide and also put you through on what you need to do. I do hope I'm clear because people really complain about the network.
Yes, you are. You are clear so far, so good. But I want to ask just before we round up that this eucalyptus, if we have the seed or a small seedling that someone can easily plant, I will like it.
Yes, this will form part of our support for the group. So we're going to have some of those materials. There are some certain materials we'll be discussing in subsequent training. And so we'll be able to get them at exclusively for the group. So definitely you'll get support for the plant and for the seedlings. So
Okay,
because um, you you will serve as disciples for this movement. So uh, the seeds and the tools you need to succeed will be provided.
okay, thank you, sir.
You're welcome, sir. So I think we have to call it a day. So I assume we have no more questions, do we? Any question?
Hello,
Okay.
hello. Good
Hello.
evening.
Yeah. Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening, sir. Thank you for the lecture, sir. I just
You're
wanted to
welcome,
ask.
sir.
I was checking my dashboard, that dashboard, and I saw that um the modules are empty, and it's just telling me to mark as I've done it. I can't go back to it right now. Just telling me that I should mark as done or something like that. So that's mark as complete. That's what it's telling me.
Okay, we'll check. We'll check if that is
Okay,
a
there are
technical.
actually three sections there. One is for the master classes, and for that one, each master class, each session will be uploaded so that I mean we can all go there for revision, or those that come in subsequently can also have access to what we've done. And then there's a second one, Introduction to Organic Farming. I think there are around 12 modules there. It's just what is organic farming, why, and all of those questions, so we can have a broad understanding. I believe those ones are they are populated. I think about 12 videos there. And then the third one is organic garden practicals, just a view of how to set up a garden and have an integrated section, a livestock section integrated. Those other two, I believe they are populated and the videos are there. Is that what you are making reference to, sir?
Yes, yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay, those ones are
I'll
the
check
issue.
again because I checked that it's just telling me mark as complete, and I didn't see
You
anything.
mean for the master class or for the other two?
For the first two, I'm looking at the organic introduction to organic. I guess that's gone now. I can't lay my hands on it right now.
Okay, okay,
But the
okay. I
first,
will.
first two.
Okay, we'll look at them again. But as at last time I checked, all the videos are populated and they are showing. You can actually view all of them. But we'll take a look at them again to be sure that it's in order. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Secondly, I just for emphasis, I guess this conversation is being recorded so that for others that are not here, they will have the opportunity to listen
Yes,
to it.
please. Yes, please.
All right.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Please, when I also opened the dashboard, I was unable to view anything. I don't know, maybe I don't know how to do it. It was not shown.
You mean the three sections that have the masterclass, the introduction, and the guiding practicals? Is it that part you're talking about, ma'am?
Everything we discussed yesterday on dashboard, my dashboard is not bringing anything.
Oh, okay. But is that where you got the link to the Telegram link to join this group, ma'am?
There
Hello.
was an invite link yesterday.
Oh, okay. Yes, yes. Please, you can private direct message me on that. We'll activate you from the back end. Sometimes when payment is made, there could be a network interruption at the very moment when it's being done, and then it cuts off. That's usually sometimes from Flutter Wave, or it could just be your network at that very moment in time. So when that happens, you just message us, and then we activate it from the back end. So that's what we'll do with yours now. You just text me your email and name, and we'll send it to IT to get it done from the back end,
Okay,
and then you can refresh. Yes.
thank you.
So I guess we can call it an evening now. Thank you very much for attending today's masterclass. You're almost welcome. And good night. You can unmute and say good night. Thank you.
Good night. Thank you very much.
Night,
Good
night.
night.
Yeah,
Wonderful
good
night
night.
rest. Fruitful
Yes,
week
good
ahead.
night. Amen. Amen.
Good night,
Thank you.
everybody.
Night.
Happy night
God
rest.
bless.